Here we go, just a quick video to demonstrate commercial in confidence question search warrant. Before search warrant is gained by the court, they must satisfy that there is no alternative way. There's always an alternative way to gather evidence. You must show that we have exhausted all avenue. The search warrant process is therefore normally a two-part process, which would usually be necessary to make a second attempt to visit, which basically they turned up with 6 of them. 1 or 2 would have been enough. 6, it's just blatant intimidation tactics. They basically forced me into a contract. They refused to leave until that contract was signed. Had no intention of leaving. 6 of them in here refused to leave until that was signed. So that's taught. I actually phoned and reported it, and none of them wanted to take the report. I even phoned the court on it. They didn't want to know either. Okay, so that's the first image, which lays out procedure. Now, let's have a look at this. TV license enforcement visiting procedure. This is what they breached. They said that they identified themselves as police when they weren't police. They're bailiffs. They're court bailiffs, which is impersonating a police officer, which is a criminal offence. I wish I had this on camera, so I recommend everyone use cameras if they do turn up for any reason. So yeah, I'll let you see that. Right, so I'll show you the email that I've sent. Okay. Please note that the procedure was not followed correctly in this matter. Please see attached. I've sent them 2 images. I also sent them a copy of the conditional acceptance, asking for proof of claim, because they haven't provided that. They're in dishonour. So any sane judge should chuck this out, but the fact is they put the court so far away that I can't even attend to defend myself. So that is not very good for justice, is it? It shows they're out for financial gain and not for justice. This is blatant proof of corruption. I don't know if you can read this properly, so I'll try and read it out. Please note that the procedure was not followed correctly in this matter. Please see attached. I have not had a reply from you regarding this case, and as such would like to bring to your attention my position. TV licence and court bailiffs turned up at 9:30 AM, banging loud as hell on my door. I thought they were here on some criminal investigation or something. They shouted through the door, "Police." I opened the door once they said they had a warrant. They then pushed past me, searched my flat for letters and found out my name. Then they told me they were there for TV licence. After then refused to leave until their paperwork was signed, which is a crime of tort, forcing me into contract under duress against me. Also they changed the interview documents after it was signed by myself, which is tampering with evidence. So along with them calling themselves police, which they are not police, they are bailiffs, that's impersonating police officer. I have not had a full disclosure on the case. I also would like to state that I do not watch BBC channels, and I told them that at the time of their visit, of which they lied to gain entrance, pushed their way in, which is not acceptable and I feel is illegal. All this will come out if it goes to trial, along with the fact that I have a moral reason for not watching BBC brainwashing propaganda paedophile Jimmy Savile network. So as such, all of this will come to light at the trial when your bailiffs and Capita are also convicted for perjury, because they all lied in their statements as well. For them all lying in their statements. This is the reason why you won't allow this case to go to Southampton Court, where I can actually attend in my defence like I'm told to do so, and 2, why BBC refused to respond to my conditional acceptance, because they cannot provide what I have asked for, even though I have only asked respectively for a very simple and reasonable response. As such, you either give me a fair trial in my local court, I will be forced to take this to all the news companies, all except BBC of course, and newspapers, and also use YouTube exposing that you, Capita, bailiffs, BBC are all corrupt and only out for financial gain and not for justice. This is a promise, not a threat. I have had enough. I'm suffering with depression over this and stress. You have all caused me out of outweighs the stupid act that I do not consent to. We are all governed and policed by consent, and as such, acts do not apply without my consent. Do please respond with your confirmation that all this has been put on the record, because I am likely to make all this known in the court, as I have been dishonoured by BBC, your courts, Capita, and I, a man, will not stand for this injustice for one more second. Lastly, I do not consent to have this dealt with without my presence. So if you cannot provide me with 1, a transfer to my local court, or 2, funds to get to your court, or 3, withdraw your fraudulent case, I will do all I have promised and take further action against you, your bailiffs, Capita and BBC. If I do not receive a response within 3 days, 6/6/15, I will assume this case has been withdrawn and no action will be taken against you in relation to this blatant abuse of powers and fraudulent behaviour. What you've got to remember, people, is these people work for you, for us, not the other way round, and they're there for justice, not for financial gain. They're under oath. There's no judge in this case that's been allocated, as far as I can tell, certainly not on the paperwork, and I've not had a reply confirming a judge at this point. I've had correspondence with the court, but all they do is recommend I plead guilty, and I was like, well, I'm not guilty, why would I do such a thing? A conditional acceptance has been sent but not responded to, so they're now, in dishonour. They need to rebuttal what I've now rebutted them, so they need to rebuttal me, and they haven't. Yeah, I would show you the conditional acceptance, but it's got all my details and case numbers on there, so I won't do that at this point. But basically, the conditional acceptance asks for, I accept upon proof of claim and upon a valid bill, a valid true bill, because it is a financial transaction. I've also asked for a contract, which is required by commercial law. What else did I ask for? I asked for this to be made under an affidavit, so that basically under perjury, if they lie or knowingly give evidence they know to be false. So basically they're all in dishonour as far as I'm concerned. I am a man, I'm not a legal fiction, I'm not a mister, and I'm certainly not a person. I don't care about the free man on the land movements or the Magna Carta Baron movements. I'm not in a movement. I am a man. I define myself. I will not let anyone define me. And that is my legal and lawful right to define myself how I see fit. And these people try and impose words onto us and think they have power over us and jurisdiction, but really they haven't. They wish to contract with me. They're going to pay for it. I'm going to expose these corrupt criminals, because that's what they are. Not to mention that the BBC has failed to live up to their own royal charter. They're supposed to be unbiased, just like police are supposed to be, ironically, but they're not. They're out for financial gain and to enforce policies. So I thought I'd just upload this and tell me what you think.